It's been 5 months since I last uploaded a video here on my channel, so I decided to create a poll last month asking you guys which helmet I should make next. And most of you chose Iron Man's Mark 85 helmet, so I have no other choice but to make it. So let's start. The templates for this helmet are available in the description of this video. And if you want to scale the helmet according to your head shape, you're gonna have to download a software called Pepakura. It's free, so don't worry, and you're also gonna need the PDO file in the description of this video. After that, open up Pepakura and import the video file from there. Then adjust the scale settings based on your head, and when you're done scaling, head over to File and click Print to PDF, and you're good to go. If you want a more in-depth tutorial on how to scale your helmet correctly on Pepakura, watch other YouTube videos because there are plenty out there. I printed out a template on letter size paper and then cut them out using a cutter. After that, I glued the template I just cut out on a piece of cardboard which is about 3 mm thick, and then cut it out again using a cutter. Now, to fold the pieces together, just remember that the dotted lines represent mountain folds and the dot dash lines represent valley folds. Gluing the pieces using glue sticks or other types of glue you prefer is pretty much self-explanatory, so I'm gonna shut up for now and build the faceplate. For the eye sockets, I glued the templates on a folder instead of cardboard because folders are much more thinner than cardboard, hence the templates will fit on the eye sockets. And the faceplate is now finished. We can now move on to making the helmet. In this part, I try to fill in the hole of the template by tracing the hole to a piece of paper and then gluing it to cardboard. In this way, we can have a piece of cardboard to fill in the hole of the helmet. After that, I traced a line on this part and then separated it from the rest so that we could add these details to this part of the helmet because the template doesn't really have those details. When I glue it back together, I don't make it flush on the surface, but instead I create something like a bump so that the details are more visible, and because that's what it looks like from the movie. For the next pieces, I glued them on an illustration board instead of cardboard because the details on this part are harder to capture using cardboard. And as you can see, I also didn't glue it flush on the surface like we did earlier so that the line details are more visible. for the earpiece, we are going to make this magnetic so that the top and the bottom part of the helmet are separable and easy to wear. I can now glue the earpiece to it, but first, I'm going to add one detail to it because it is also not on the template. Okay, so I lied about what I said earlier. I will glue it on a cardboard and then add a detail afterward. So now that the right magnetic ear is done, I just need to do the other side, and after that, I sanded down the housing of both the magnetic ears to make them more smooth. Then I will connect both sides of the magnetic ear using this piece right here. top part of the helmet is finished. I will now make the bottom part or the jaw part of the helmet, to which I will connect the magnetic ears. The bottom part is now finished, and as you can see, both the top and bottom parts are detachable, which will make wearing this helmet much easier. The next thing I did was to tape the faceplate onto the helmet, and then I drew out the detail for the cheek part because it is not on the template and I needed to do it freehand. You can use some references online to make this part. After that, I glued some supports inside the helmet and the faceplate using some sticks to make it the right shape, and also so that it doesn't wobble when we apply the resin to it. I then detached the faceplate from the helmet. That's why we used only drops of glue sticks earlier, so that it is easy to remove later. At this point, we are almost done building the whole helmet, and the last thing left to do now are these details on the ear part and one little piece on the mouth. We are now done building the helmet, and the next thing to do now is to apply resin to it. Now, when applying resin to the helmet, always remember to wear a breathing mask and disposable gloves because resins are no joke when you inhale them, since they are made of harmful chemicals that can cause problems in your lungs or other parts of your body, and also always bring some alcohol around you so that you can wipe out the resin whenever it got to your skin. Anyway, for those who have no idea why are we saturating the helmet with resin, it is so that the helmet will be hard and durable when the resin starts to harden, and also so that it will keep its shape when we remove the supports inside. I apply 2 coats of resin on both the outside and inside of the helmet, and I wait for it to dry overnight. And I know that I said earlier that the resin helps harden the helmet, but it is not enough. We also need to apply something called fiberglass cloth, but I don't have one, so instead I have this, which is a woven roving type. It works, but fiberglass cloth is much preferable for this kind of build. Now these things will actually make the helmet super durable and hard when it hardens, and applying it is like applying paper mache, only with fiberglass. First apply some resin on the surface and then stick the cloth there. and apply resin again and again until you fill up the whole surface. After it dries, I remove the supports and then I apply another round of fiberglass cloth. We are now done applying resin to the helmet. The next thing we need to do now is to remove the pointy bits of the fiberglass cloth from the edges of the helmet. And this is what it looks like after doing that. So the next thing I did was to sand the faceplate and the helmet using 100 grit sandpaper to remove more of the pointy bits from the fiberglass and to make the edges smoother. We are finally done applying resin to the helmet, and the next thing to do now is to apply wood filler. We are applying wood filler to the helmet to make the helmet smooth and to get rid of hard edges on the surface. This is obviously to make the helmet look more realistic and not cardboardish. After it dries, I sanded it down using 100 grit sandpaper, and this is what it looks like after that. At this point, all I did was apply wood filler again and sand it down, and I just repeated that until I got a smooth finish like this. This can take up to 3 to 5 days depending on how long you work on making it smooth. Mine was 4 days, so just be patient when doing it. Anyway, we are now done applying wood filler, and the next thing to do now is my favorite part, which is painting the helmet. Now, in most cases, you might want to use filler primer for this build as your base coat because filler primer fills in some imperfections on the surface of the helmet so that it will be smoother when you sand it. But I use only regular primer because I can't find one here on my area. What I did instead was, after the paint dried, I grabbed my wood filler and then filled in the areas with dents and imperfections, and then I sanded it down again. After that, I sprayed it again with primer and I just repeated the process until I achieved a smooth finish. Almost. Now, to achieve a metallic look for the helmet, we can't just spray the paint there and call it a day. Instead, we first need to make the base of our helmet smooth and very reflective. And the best way to do that is to paint the surface with glossy black spray paint. In this way, when we apply the chrome effect to the helmet, we will get a very reflective surface due to the smoothness and reflectiveness of the glossy black spray paint. As you can see, the result looks amazing and it really takes the illusion of almost looking like metal. Now, the next thing I did was to cover some parts of the helmet using masking tape and paper that shouldn't be sprayed with red. For the metallic red look, I didn't just use regular spray paint, but rather a candy red toner. In this way, we can still see the reflective surface of the helmet even after spraying some paint onto it. And also it will make the red look metallic, which is of course our goal. For the gold look, I just use regular gold spray paint, but I apply it lightly on the surface. So in that way, we can still see the reflectiveness of the base coat. If you want to learn more about getting a metallic look for your helmet, watch Shanshkar video on making the Iron Spider helmet, but I'm guessing you have already watched that. Anyways, the template for this helmet is available in the description of this video, and it is free, so don't worry. And I'd also probably make a following video on this helmet about adding lights to it and finding a way to make the faceplate automatically open and close without using any electronics. Anyway, making this helmet has been fun even though it kinda hurts my wallet while making it. And I know that some of you who are watching don't have the materials to make this helmet, but don't limit yourself from that. Always remember to be creative, because there's always a way to do it. All you have to do is find it And just like what Edward de Bono said, creativity involves breaking out of established patterns in order to look at things in a different way.